Hello, it's Heidi Ellsworth, and guess what? This is the last interview, except, of course, the Heidi and Karen roundup after this. But this is our last interview. I'm telling you, save the best for last. I'm so happy that Greta can be here again after being on Coffee Conversations yesterday. And this is Xavier, both with the Golden Group Roofing out of Massachusetts. I tell you what, this has been a pretty dang good show. I mean, a lot of stuff going on. And so before we kind of dive into that, I'd like to have both of you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourself. So Xavier, why don't we start with you?
Okay, so I'll start off. So my name is Xavier. Work over at Golden Group Roofing. I work as a sales consultant there. So I meet with clients, estimating properties. I also canvas. So go door to door knocking as well, try to find my own leads. A little bit about myself is I was actually an athlete in college, so I feel like transitioning over to roofing, still kept the competitive side in me, so I kind of like that. And yeah, the freedom and making some good money while also having some fun. So
that's awesome.
Kind of a little bit about myself, yeah.
How long have you been with Golden?
I've been at Golden now for 2 years.
2 years. Awesome. Yeah. Greta?
Yeah, sure. My name is Greta Bayrami, and I'm the owner and founder of Golden Group Roofing out of Massachusetts. It feels great to be here. We're a residential roofing contractor, and this is our Willy Wonka moment. Every time we come here, we get to touch, feel the product, meet with people, and see the industry at a bigger level than our, home office was. Yeah. So this feels good to go back to the office after being on a floor like this.
And being able to bring back what you've learned, the classes, the events, all of that. So Xavier, this is your first diary, right?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Okay. Tell us, how's your week been, and what are some of your favorite things?
Been very eventful. Just walking around, meeting all these people that you see on YouTube and Instagram, seeing them actually in person is pretty fun. Get to shake their hand and, talk to them, so that's good. Just getting some knowledge, but also, some free gear is always good too. Walking around, seeing the new products that are out there definitely gives you an upper hand when you're going up against other contractors that don't come to events like this. So I think that's really good. And then lastly, just it being in Vegas is kind of like the cherry on top.
Never bad.
Never bad.
Never bad. So what product stands out in your mind the most that you've seen this week that you kind of want to take back to the office?
So one thing that I'm definitely going to implement from now on is a solar power vent. So definitely going to be implementing that. Just think it's really cool. Price point is great. I think anyone who is having any ventilation issues should definitely look into it. So it's definitely something I'm bringing up to the dinner table more often, for sure.
I love it. Solar vent. That's awesome.
Solar powered vent.
Yeah, powered vent. That is so cool. Greta, how has your week been?
Oh, it's been eventful. It's always fun. You never know who you're going to see from the people that you normally are in LinkedIn sharing conversations. It's great to see the products and just get a refresher. There were some new products on the floor this time around. There was a texting app called Podium that was really interesting. And then there was a roofing calculator. We actually have a roofing calculator right on our website at Golden Group. So to see another company that had a roofing calculator, was pretty exciting. So we look forward to possibly merging ours and theirs and seeing what we can make happen. So that was exciting.
Wow, that's cool. So technology was a big push for you.
It always is. I always come here. I know a lot of people come here for the products, but I always come here to see what new tech app is out there that we can use to streamline our processes.
Yes. So and you and I have been in a lot of events together. We've had a lot of fun conversation. What did you go to any classes, or were you able to get to some other? Okay, what did you like there?
The classes were great. I was actually really impressed with even just the classes on the floor.
Yeah.
I went to one of the training classes, like your finding your selling proposition. I went to a siding one. Nice. That was really cool. There was a demo by Leap done. I'm a big fan of Leap. Actually, even though I've been on Leap's podcast, I actually don't have Leap for my business. Oh. But I'm thinking that I need it after those. So I was really impressed with even the people that had just the Expo Hall Pass. I felt like they got a lot out of it.
Yes.
So hopefully this will encourage them to maybe upgrade their pass next year and actually come to some of the classes earlier in the day.
Yeah, the classes I think are so important, and to be able to get that knowledge from the different people out there who are sharing. And Xavier, what were some of the outside of the conference hall? What were some of the things besides Vegas that you were kind of doing?
Yeah, nice tailgate by SRS, right?
Yes.
Distributions. Nice tailgate that they had out there. No, just learning a little bit about the city itself, taking in the history, I guess, of Vegas. Yeah. But in general, honestly, it's been a great event. It's been fun. Definitely enjoyed it. And honestly, the best thing about it is who you come with. So I'm a big fan of my team. The roofing, I think we have a great team over at Golden Group, so just spending time with them, it's really good.
That's great. We've had the same thing. We've had a lot of team building with the Roofers Coffee Shop team this week, and I think you're right. I mean, I'm really glad you said that because that is a big part of it. And if I were doing my top 5 things, it would be right up there. It's just like that team building opportunity. Definitely. Really good. Yeah. So speaking of amazing teams, let's talk about your company, Greta, and about you and I have had some awesome discussions. You've been on the coffee shop before, but you are a huge advocate for the millennial workforce. So why don't you talk about and Gen Zs? Yeah, our Gen Zs, because Xavier has been on Coffee Conversations with our Gen Z takeover. That Megan is back there right now going, yeah.
I mean, I'm a big fan of this age group. I know a lot of people prefer older people just because they might have experience or they might have a bigger push or a bigger commitment because they're striving for a mortgage for a child to raise them and put them through schooling. But I also believe that although millennials might not necessarily or Gen Zers have those, they have a lot of other qualities like being able to take rejection really well and go to the next one, being able to have high energy at all times, and then just being able to be very adaptable to changing. Like even with COVID, millennials were very easy. They didn't mind it. They're like, okay, it's a new world. Like, forget all the other processes. Let's throw away the old templates, start over again. And I think with this age group, we have the flag.
I know, the flag came back again.
It came to the show. It likes us. I think that's what makes it great is the fact that the millennial Gen Z age group not only is adaptable, but they're not afraid of trying new things, and having such key people on our team really it was a leverage. It was a leverage that we were able to really work with and grow during the pandemic.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's so much to this generation that, I mean, we have a lot of Gen Zs, we have a lot of millennials. In fact, we're pretty much outnumbered at Roofers Coffee Shop, and I love it. And so, Xavier, how do you feel? I mean, roofing, we're talking all the time about getting young people into roofing. What would you say to other young people?
I would say, honestly, look past the fact that, look past it. When somebody says roofing, it might not be the coolest thing at first, but if you can look past that and see what's actually behind the world of roofing in terms of like sales and going out there and meeting people, honestly, that part is great. Going to meet people, meeting them, talking about their homes, sales, the freedom you get, good money as well. I mean, it's always a bonus, right? But, but
it's okay. You can be unapologetic about it. Right? Millennials are very driven by growth and financial growth being one of them.
Exact growth too. So every time you're meeting more people and creating more clients, you're creating bigger networks. So even if you want to do something in the future that it's not roofing, you still have a whole network now of people that you have dealt with and met. So you're really creating like a whole audience for yourself, honestly, and in a niche market, and I think that's priceless. So I loved what you mentioned about siding, that you were looking at the siding over there too. You are constantly innovating, and you're constantly adding to your company. I know you just told me recently that you guys are going into solar. What are some of your plans on differentiating and really bringing some of this back?
I mean, the one thing we're bringing back this year, I'm very excited to partner up with and bring Da Vinci. I think Da Vinci is a different price model. It's a little scary because you don't want to represent it to a client sometimes. You're almost like, oh, no, I don't know if I could do this. The price is so high. But there's an audience like that, right? So for me this year was about pushing the boundaries and realizing that exterior for some people is a lifestyle choice, and they do want that extraordinary exterior. So seeing companies like Da Vinci and bringing them to the kitchen table really pushes us outside of our comfort zone, which is that daily asphalt roof, right? Like this is our differentiator. This is our difference. I want to point out though, before Xavier gets off track, that the other day he put up a beautiful quote. He said somebody asked him if they could take him from me, but he said that roofing is a lifestyle. What did you mean by that? To those listening, what is roofing as a lifestyle? That's what he said. He said, sorry, buddy, roofing is a lifestyle.
I love it.
Yeah, no, that did happen, but yeah, like roofing is a lifestyle. Wake up, get your coffee, grind, and then have fun on the weekends, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless you have an appointment on Saturday, then you gotta go.
Well, and you know what I love too was the fact that you're talking about making good money, and sales is a great. I mean, it's just so many people don't even realize that.
Exactly. And we're very at Golden Group. That's something that I'm always encouraging other people, because sometimes you see people graduating and they're getting these entry level jobs at $40,000-$50,000 and they're barely getting traction.
Right.
And sometimes when we open up their eyes to the world of roofing, how much potential there is and how many different aspects, not just sales, marketing, working for these tech companies, then like a light bulb moment goes in their head where they're like, oh, I never knew that. Like that was a possibility.
Yeah.
And we've had some people that have come to our company and have had masters in, you know, all of these other things like psychology. We have an art major right now, and, you know, she's joining the world of roofing because, again, it's a rewarding career, and it allows people to really work remote and create their own hours, which is the bonus, I think.
It really, it is so true. Well, good. So what's the plans for the rest? Are you heading out tonight or tomorrow?
We're heading out today because we do want to get into the office tomorrow just to like seal things up.
Yeah.
So Monday's not like a crash on us. But Xavier's excited. He's had an extraordinary year, and I think he's just excited to finish fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Yep.
and take it to the next level.
Exactly.
So, well, what do you, for looking at next year and planning on being in New Orleans, right, in February, what kind of things would you do different, or would you do anything different prepping or getting ready to come to the show?
What would I do different? I'd probably maybe contact a few people before I would show up, just to tell them, like,
Yes.
you know, hey, I'm gonna be stopping by. Like, can we have a conversation for, you know, because some people are running around, they're very busy, so maybe like set an appointment with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's brilliant. That's
Yeah.
exactly what you want to do. That's why we set appointments to have you here. We ask you guys to come.
Exactly.
Your vendors should be doing the same thing, because that's what this meaningful conversation is all about. I love it. And before we finish up this week, Greta, I just want you to know, being on the panel, being on Coffee Conversations this week, I have had such amazing feedback on what you're doing. And just your comments, your thought leadership on what's going on. So I'm excited to come to your part of the world for NERCA.
Yay. Thank you. In March. Atlantic City. No, it's honestly very exciting. I think I mentioned it right before we went live that these are the different layers, right, of this new world and of roofing, and I think Xavier and people like Xavier, people like myself, we represent that new world and the new layers that's coming to roofing, and I think it's exciting because it's adding a lot of identity and it's adding a lot of different characteristics. And I'm excited to see how it's going to change. I'm excited to see in the next 10 years what this floor will look like as more and more different cultures, groups, and identities in general join us. It's
creating a richness in the industry that's been missing.
Yeah.
You can't, we needed everyone.
Absolutely.
Everyone included. So with that, I think that's a beautiful way. We're going to call that. I want to say thank you so much, both of you, for being here. Thank you for all you're doing.
Absolutely.
For leading the way for Gen Z
to
be in roofing. And I want to thank all of you. We're going to have one last snippet here in a few minutes on wrapping up the show. But this is our last interview, and we are blessed to have all of you watching and being a part of it, letting Roofers Coffee Shop bring the IRE to you, even if you couldn't be here. So we'll talk soon again. Thanks.